And this is a video review of the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Sentinel Prime. So just got him yesterday at my local Big W. I must say I'm pretty happy with how he looks. Maybe not as flexible or posable as the other figures, but you know, what can you do? He is really accurate to how he looks in the movie, but you know, I do have a few gripes, and I'll go through that in a bit. So starting off, let's look at the packaging. This is your usual Studio Series packaging. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Yep, there you go. So he is figure 61, image of Sentinel Prime there. While we're here, the accuracy of the head sculpt is spot on. See if I can focus more on the face. Really spot on head sculpt. Really happy with that, how that came out. The other side is a figure of Sentinel Prime. Sentinel Prime in robot mode and vehicle mode. One thing about this figure, they can't decide whether he's a Autobot or Decepticon. Well, technically he is an Autobot. Maybe a really confused one, but still an Autobot. And if you look at the instructions, he's an Autobot there. So yeah, they can't decide whether to make him an Autobot or Decepticon, but he's still an Autobot. Instructions are par for the course for, you know, Studio Series, so can't complain much there. Now let's move Megatron to the side and have a look at the included backdrop. So that's Sentinel Prime's backdrop. Pretty cool. City battle backdrop. Let me just put that down. Let's focus on Sentinel Prime here. Now overall, he's not a bad figure. He's made in this dark gray plastic, and everything that's red is actually paint. It just gives him a bit of a premium feel. I wish they gave him more of the paint, so there should be a bit more red paint there. There should be a lot more silver plastic, but all in all, I think the treatment is great. Now let's just lift the camera a little bit and look at the details. I've already shown you the head sculpt, and it's spot on. I was actually watching Dark of the Moon yesterday just so I can see the details, and yeah, all these mechanical details on the neck, really accurate, really nice. He even has those rotating gears on the chest as well. It's barely visible, I just saw it this morning, but yeah, it's nice. Going down to the body, yeah, lots of mechanical details. He does look more pristine than he looks in the movie. So if you've watched the movies, he's had a lot of, you know, battle damage. But again, overall, I think he looks spot on. From the side, the profile is okay. From the back, this is not accurate. Should be like flowing netting kind of cape. What can you do? From the front, it's not too bad. Now let me just address this. I think in the transformation you're supposed to transform him this way. Let me just double check quickly. But I found another way of transforming the back. So let's see, how does he transform here again? Backpack. Yeah, so officially the transformation is to have him folded there, but then I noticed there's actually a tab there and a slot there. So if you're really annoyed by this thing, you can actually extend this, and there is actually a port right there and a peg there. So if you attach it this way, it actually makes it a lot more stable, but you do lose a little bit of the waist swivel. Whatever little waist swivel you have, you lose. But yeah, I guess depends on your personal preference. Now quickly, let's go through the accessories. Now the bad thing about this guy is he only gets one accessory, and it is his blade, and it's unpainted, which is unfortunate again. I wish they would have given us a separate piece as opposed to, you know, car part or a fire truck part. The other bit is a bit small. I think it's a bit short for Sentinel Prime. Should be a bit longer, maybe nice size. And then he doesn't have the shield as well, which is, again, I mean, you cannot give him the iconic Sentinel Prime look without the larger sword and the shield. And he doesn't have the rust cannon, which is, again, for a figure, a Voyager scale figure, I wish they'd given us more accessories. Now for articulation, I think this is where there's a bit of failing on this guy. So let me just put him back in the official transformation. So we do have the head swivel. You just look up and down. Swivel is hindered by the beard. Go all the way around, go all the way out. This goes up and down, but that's for transformation. Swivel there, more than 90, just a smidge more than 90 there. Swivel on the wrist, although the wrist swivel tends to pop out. You have it configured this way. You do have a slight waist swivel, which is good. Not good for a lot of poses, but you know, good enough for a Studio Series figure. Can go all the way out, whole way forward, which is nice. Back, if you push the butt flap and the cape back. Swivel top the knee 90 degrees, and no ankle pivot. This guy would have benefited with a bit of ankle pivot. Now for some size comparisons, I already have Prime and Megatron, so I guess these are the guys that matter in terms of scale for this guy, just because of the iconic final battle in that movie. Just straighten out Megatron. This guy's waist unpegged again. So as you can see, they are pretty good scaled together. Move that cape, give you a better look. I mean, with Megatron in his hunched up pose, they look really good in terms of scale. So Megatron is the huge robot of the three, and Optimus is a bit smaller than Sentinel as well. So I think this scale looks great. It works perfectly for these three. We'll move that out of the way so we can focus on the transformation. Now I'm not gonna lie, the first couple of times transforming this guy was a pain. Gives me a few memories of my old leader class Sentinel. So he has the same deal where he's a pretty big panel former, and if you have, you know, you've skipped one step or one of the transformation parts are misaligned, you won't get him to compress. But if you follow the steps, you should be able to do it with no problems. So let's start. First thing I'll do is I'll extend the arms forward, and then there's a tab there in the hole there, so just tab that in. Do the same on the other hand. You can leave the arm down or forward, doesn't really matter. These two full chest pieces, you just unpeg from the chest, and then the actual chest pieces you unpeg as well. There you go. Extend that forward. Just extend the butt flap. I'll just leave that, extend it that way. Now let's focus on the legs. Instructions actually tell you to just push this out. Now if you do that, you'll break this. This is actually pegged on the side there, so you pull it out first. Pull it out first. There you go. So see, there's a peg hole and a peg, and then stretch, unfold this side, you rotate, so there is a ball joint right there, so you can rotate that so that it's forward, and then this part you unpeg, you rotate the entire lower leg. That bit I thought was cool piece of transformation. Rotate this down, and then there is a peg there and a slot there, so make sure that is completely compressed. So just push it down, peg it all the way in as much as it can go. Do the same on the other side. So let's unpeg that, rotate the ball joint, rotate the entire thing, rotate the foot down, make sure that's pegged all the way. Oop, okay. Let's just give it a little bit clearance and then press it down. There you go. And that's the legs done for the most part. Oh, and then if you got these side flaps extended, just compress it down. Okay, now next part is you dislocate the waist. There you go, and you rotate it around, so make sure there's clearance. There you go, rotate the entire bit around. Now this is the step that I keep missing. Oh, before we do that, let's just rotate the head down. There you go. Now this is the step that I always miss. So there is actually a peg there. Oop. Focus on the right thing, camera. A peg there and a hole there. So you're actually supposed to compress it so that it pegs in there. If you don't do that, then you'll have a hard time. Now before we do that, let's just compress this backpack part together. So this backpack part is composed of a lot of hook joints. So what I do is I fold it inward and then press it in the middle. Let's go. Now and then when we do that, we can fold this in. Make sure to peg that peg into that hole as much as you can. It's hard to see, but you can do it. And you will know that it's okay once the wheel is aligned that way. Okay, now let's peg the legs together. This panel tends to pop out. It's just on a friction joint, so that's okay. Peg that together, peg that together. Almost there. Oh, yet unpegged. Let's just move the arms back. Move the arm back. And then there is a peg and a slot and a peg. So just make sure that it goes in there. Do the same on the other side, but also peg this onto the arm there. So again, let's do this. Peg the arms together, put it down. There you go. Now again, make sure you peg that peg to that hole, and with that done properly, you should be able to compress it, no issues. There you go, that went in. And then just compress this up Tell you, the first time I transformed this, I was cursing like hell. Something's not right. Peg completely. See, keeps unpegging. Let's do this top part first, just to get it out of the way and make it a little bit more stable. So see, peg and a slot, peg and a slot. So just make sure it's all pegged in. You press that, and that should make it a little bit more stable. And let's try the waist part again. That was the step I forgot, by the way, in the first few times I transformed this, because I tried to transform the figure first without instructions. It's a puzzle after all. That's when I realized that I missed that step when I was cursing like hell trying to put this guy together. Yeah, that should peg properly if the waist is on. Yeah. If not, you'll have one side always unpegging. Compress it down. There you go. Up, and then extend the thingies, and then unfold that and unpeg that, and then you have a pretty large gap there. What you do is you take the sword, unpeg those, fold that in. Now this can be a little bit tricky to put on. So there is a peg there, a peg hole there, and there are pegs here. Next time might be better just peg these on before you fold the arms in. Of course, that went on easy because I said it's gonna be hard. Do the same on the other side, or maybe it's the amount of practice I've had already with this guy. There you go. There you have Sentinel Prime in his awesome looking fire truck boat. So again, this is really accurate to how he looked in the movie as well. He only transformed a few times, but yeah, those few times really good. So let's look at the details. So Rosenbaum logo there, 316. I don't know if that's a reference to something, John 3:16 or something. Now let me just look. Nope, it's not. Yeah, doesn't seem like it, but yeah, 316. Oop. Peg that together. Even the two different sized ladders accurate to the movie as well. I just noticed that yesterday when I was watching. Yeah, really clean looking transformation. Of course, you can see his head there. That's the same as the original leader class. At the bottom, pretty clean. You clearly see his feet. Otherwise, otherwise it's fine. Has this front hose as well, which is not posable like in the original leader class. So yeah, all in all, not a bad figure, not a bad representation of Sentinel Prime. So let me just transform him back quickly. So let's remove the sword. Transforming him back is always easier part, just because, you know, it's easier to uncompress a transformed robot rather than transform him to vehicle for the most part. So let's just unhinge the whole back part. Let's do the legs first. Unpeg the legs. Swivel the feet forward and rotate. Ball joint, peg it in, peg it in. There you go. Do the same on the other side. Rotate, rotate, peg. Fun transformation going back, going to robot mode, going to vehicle mode, maybe not so much. Unpeg here. Oh, let's unhook the hands. So so you can actually unpeg it here. There you go. That allows you to pull this up. Oh, it's crazy cold today. My hands are stiff. Fold down the thingos, side mirrors, rotate the waist all the way around. Let's do the unofficial. I don't know if it's the official transformation or unofficial. But yeah, this seems to, given the peg in the hole, this seems to be intended as well. That back pegging seems intended as well, but I don't know why it's not in the official transformation. There we go. Now you rotate it down. There you go. So this actually pegs there and there, and this is a double hinge, so if you don't position the double hinge properly, you won't be able to peg it there. Just finagle it a bit until it's in the right position. There you go. And let's do the back part again. Let's do the unofficial official one, whatever it is. Peg this at the top, peg this at the bottom, and then split the cape. Again, try to fold it in the middle so as not to break those tabs. Pegging that bit on stabilizes the back, but otherwise, you know, it's stable enough. Just because you're gonna be posing him standing up anyway, so it will naturally gravitate down. Let's give him back his swords. Yep, take the sword first. And let's bring back his protege, Optimus Prime, and his partner in crime, Megatron. So yeah, any final thoughts? I do have my gripes. I wish that he had a little bit more paint apps, a little bit more silver where it matters. I wish he had, you know, either the shield or the gun. So I wish that this one is painted and a little bit larger, and I do wish he had a little bit more articulation. That said, I know it sounds like I have a lot of gripes. That said, he does look really nice. I mean, like, the head sculpt is very accurate and all that. He's probably the most accurate rendition of Sentinel Prime we had in the movie. In the toy line. So I gladly take the gripes. He's not a bad figure overall. I'd say better than that guy. Maybe better than that guy as well. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you think about this guy. So that has been the review of Studio Series Voyager Class Sentinel Prime from Dark of the Moon. This has been Grimtrigger. Thanks for watching.